Yeah, man.
Where you been so long, man?
Oh, man, I've been out there at 1919 West Taylor.
What you were doing out there, man?
Oh, man, I was out there messing around with Rand and Dr. Newhow, man. I had to get rid of them 2 bugs and that roach I had.
How you do that?
Oh, man, I hit it something like this, Jack. Yeah, baby.
Sound pretty good, Jack.
You know, if you don't get rid of that bug, man, that bug kill you.
Sound the same.
He's too heavy for me.
You getting down, brother?
I had to get down or get out of it or something.
That's what you call soul music.
That's right, baby. And that bug is soul, too.
But let me see you get a little funky with it now.
Okay, baby. This is where I got rid of that bug. Yeah, but that bug kill you, man.
I'm hip to it.
You guys don't know what kind of bug that was.
What you mean, what kind of bug? That's soul bug, that brother.
Yeah, he'll take your soul, too.
You better believe it if you're not in damn shape.
That's right. I'm gonna get rid of this bug now, baby.
Boy, I sure hate to see you cut it loose.
Yeah, but I gotta cut it loose, baby.
Man, that's a soul.
Yeah, you almost got my soul too, Jack.
You heard Dave Brown say soul music?
Yeah.
Well, that's soul, that's soul now.
I hear you, baby.
It might get you down, but it sure never get you well.
Yeah, baby. Kill that bug, baby. That's where you kill that bug.
Man, that's handsome. You know, if I had that kind of bug, I'd hate to cut it loose, man.
Do you know what kind of bug that was, man?
What kind of bug was it?
That's that thing they call a TB bug.
Boy,
He was a monster.
The other kind of bug, you should not be in all.
That's right, baby. I think we got rid of him, though. Ow! Kill that bug.
in a land where he once stood with pride. But he'll find his way by the morning light.
Crikey, they were a great live band back then, and they made some fabulous records, like that one. Los Lobos' Will the Wolf Survive, the title track of the 1984 album for Slash Records. And that was the LP with which they really broke through internationally. From East Los Angeles, of course, still going strong. They won yet another Grammy earlier this month. It's high time they returned to the UK. Earl Hooker kicked us off, guitarist cousin of John Lee Hooker, and like John Lee, also from Clarksdale, Mississippi. Two Bugs and a Roach, the track, about the tuberculosis which plagued him for much of his adult life and eventually killed him in 1970. And that's the title track of this Earl Hooker LP from Arhoolie Records. At various times he also played guitar in the bands of Muddy Waters and Ike Turner. Hiya, you're listening to Radio Kershaw, coming at you with the support of Songlines magazine, our media partner. Details in a bit of how listeners to these programmes can get a handsome discount on a Songlines subscription. Another classic kitchen session for you in today's programme, recorded in my flat in Crouch End on the 11th of April 1990, and on their first visit to the UK, the peerless Cajun trio of guitarist and singer D.L. Menard, the Cajun Hank Williams, accordionist and singer Eddie Lejeune, and fiddler Ken Smith. The first chunk of that coming up in just a few minutes. Now, you'll remember in the last programme I was raving about the few recordings I'd found by the tremendous gospel singer, the Reverend Reuben Willingham, his solo recordings that he made after leaving the Swanee Quintet in 1966. Well, since the last programme, I managed to locate and buy from Denmark, of all places, a whole LP by the Blighter. The Best of Reverend Willingham, it's called, on the Nashborough label, and a couple of spine tinglers for you from it today, starting with this, Sleep On Mother.
About this time, as the trees begin to take on their beautiful little green leaves, and as the flowers begin to bud, I often think about the conversation that I had with a young lady not so very, very long ago. She said to me one afternoon, said, Reverend Willingham, you don't really know how blessed you are to have a living mother that you can talk to every once in a while. She said, really? You don't really miss your mother until the very day that she's gone. She said, and every year about this time, my mind goes back on Mother's Day. Hallelujah. And I think about so many people who are able to wear a red rose. Many of them have to put on a white robe like mine. She said, but I'll just take my time every Mother's Day since Mama been gone. And I go out to that old graveyard where that old sweet mother of mine lay. And I take my white robe in one hand and my little white face in another. And I kneel down beside my mother's grave and said, as I knelt down there early one Mother's Day morning, said, I noticed on the side of the grave that there was a little red rose grown up on the side of my mother's grave. She said, when I saw this, glory to God, this made me think about what the preacher said at the funeral that afternoon. She said, if she died and Jesus, if she died believing that God is a way maker, she's not dead. She's just asleep. By that time, the tears began to cover the lady's eyes. I told her that there's no use to worry and it ain't no use to cry. God will fix things all right for you, and he'll bring you together one of these days in the sweet by and by. Then that lady put a smile on her face, and she looked out toward the grave. Glory be to God. And I heard her when she said these words, sleep, sleep on, lie down and take your rest. She said, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, dear.
Oh, wow. The Reverend Reuben Willingham with Sleep On Mother from his Best Of album released in 1974. So I guess that could have been recorded at any time between 1966, when he left the Swanee Quintet, and 1974, when this LP was issued. Now, let's hear him some years earlier, in 1962, with the Swanee Quintet. This is One More River to Cross.
Jordan River, I'm bound to cross. Oh, Jordan. she can't help me. Well, my mother, I know she, and I got one. Yes, sir. Listen to this. I wish you would take time and listen here. Somebody might have a doubt in their mind, but that's all right because I got one thing in my favor. I don't care what the words say about it. I got a friend gonna help me when I get down the chilly journey. And when I get there in the morning, children, and begin to walk across in Jesus' name, don't be uneasy about me because Jesus told me, he said, if you serve me, if you hold up my name, I'll be a burden bearer. If you hold up my name when you come down the chilly journey, he said, look here, my God, listen to me. Listen to this. Children, Jesus, he'll be waiting, and he's gonna help me to cross. Children, Jesus, he'll be waiting, and I know, and he's gonna help me to cross. Well, hey, Jesus, he'll be waiting, yeah, yeah, he's gonna help my Lord Almighty, and you know I got one.
Shoo-be-doo-be-doo. iron. Lightning and thunder, earthquake, brimstone and fire. Lash them, Jaja, lash them. I beg you, lash them, Jaja, lash them. You see the weak out, the mean out, the lean out. You see the weak out, the mean out, the lean out. As if you lash them, Jaja, lash them. Yeah, as if you lash them, Jaja, lash them. No weak out can never conquer. Righteous man lives stronger every day. So whip them, Jaja, whip them. I'm begging you to whip them, Jaja, whip them. You know. I pray thee. Let the man who stand firm never be eaten by no worm. Yeah. Some a run up them out, some a shout. Some a run up them out, some a sing. Some a run up them out, them a talk. And some a run up them out, them a laugh. But me say whip them, Jaja, whip them. I say fi whip them, Jaja, whip them. Cause I man is stepping out to Babylon, most righteous man. And she do be, shooby dooby doo. Whip them, Jaja, whip them. Said it if you whip them, Jaja, whip them. And allow the righteous man to survive. Allow your righteous people to stay alive. Yeah, the black star line are waiting. Singing in the black star line waiting. Juking round the corner, juking round the corner, juking round the corner. Yeah, you know. Step it out of Babylon. Come on, come make we step it out of Babylon. Move, me step it out of Babylon. Yeah, and we're going to Zion. She do be, shoop, she shoop be. No weak God cannot prosper. The righteous man gets stronger every day. So me say whip them, Jaja, whip them. I'm begging you to whip them, Jaja, whip them. Yeah, and whip up the weak God, you know, and say to clean up the weak God, you know. Righteous, yeah, I'll make your earth live righteous, yeah, and teach your children to unite, you know. So we no fuss, and we no fight, and we no fight, and shoop, shooby dooby doing.
I do wish they were still making music in Jamaica like that, but my theory is roots reggae died when the predominant drug switched from marijuana to cocaine and crack in the early 1980s, and about the same time digital technology came in and replaced real musicians. That was Dr. Ali Mantado with Toasting from Raphael Green on Rasta Train, recorded in 1977, and one of dozens of tracks on the Trojan Records Roots and Culture 3CD box set. Before them, and from Augusta, Georgia, the Swanee Quintet, with the Reverend Reuben Willingham on lead vocals for a 1962 recording of One More River to Cross. The Swanee Quintet CD is called What About Me, and it's released in the UK by Ace Records. Now, Willie Nelson has just announced a load of new live dates from now all across the States until September, including his annual July the 4th picnic in Austin, Texas, of course. Oh, I'd love to go to that. Even though Willie turns 89 on the 29th of April of this year, and his sister Bobby, pianist in Willie's family band for so many years, died last month. He's just remarkable. One of the many things I love about Willie is that sense of community and inclusivity you feel at one of his gigs. Very much the same vibe you feel at a Bruce Springsteen concert. People there from all backgrounds and of all ages. Willie didn't need a faddish corporate concept of diversity to achieve that. It's just how he is, as another of our heroes can testify.
Hello, I'm Johnny Kay. One night, I had a backstage pass to a Willie Nelson show. There were wackos and weirdos and dingbats and dodos and athletes and movie stars and David Allen Coe. There was leather and lace and every minority race with a backstage pass to the Willie Nelson show. Christopherson got an offer for a movie. Promoters closed another deal or two. Waylon got a call from his son Shooter, and he went home the minute he was through. I moved with the mob at intermission to the green room where you see who you can see. There were has-beens and would-be's and never-were's, paupers, punks, and millionaires and me. And there were wackos and weirdos and dingbats and dodos and athletes and movie stars and David Allen Coe. There was leather and lace and every minority race with the backstage pass to the Willie Nelson show. Hell's Angels blocked the traffic to the building in order for the beer truck to come through. And waiting in the wings to sing with Willie were hopeful stars of flickering magnitude. There was a singer Willie knew back in the 50s who once paid him $50 for a song. There were women who once did and some who still would. I heard one ask, did Connie come along? And there were wackos and weirdos and dingbats and dodos and athletes and movie stars and David Allen Coe. Leather and lace and every minority race with a backstage pass to the Willie Nelson show. I wish you could have been there. Well, maybe you were.
Didn't mean to run off there. I got hung up back there. I'd like to do a new song for you. This is a song that Rodney Crowell wrote called Till I Gain Control Again. All right, we'll do that one too. Just like the sun over the mountain top, you know I'll always come again. You know I love to spend my morning time like sunlight dancing on your skin. And I have never gone so wrong as for telling lies. to you. What you've seen is what I've been. There is nothing that I can hide from you. You see me better than I can. Out on the road that lies before me now, there are some turns where I will spin. I only hope that you will hold me now. Till I can gain control again. Just like a lighthouse, you must stand alone. Landmark a sailor's journey's end. No matter what sea that I've been sailing on, I'll always roll this way again. Out on the road that lies before me now, there are some turns where I will spin. You will hold me down till I can gain control again. Out on the road that lies before me now, some turns where I will spin. I only hope that you will hold me now till I can gain control again.
Beautiful. Willie Nelson and the Family Band, with Emmylou Harris on backing vocals, performing Rodney Crowell's Till I Gain Control Again, and that's from the double album Willie and Family Live on Columbia Records. Honestly, when he came into play on my Radio 1 programme in 1998 with the whole band, he was the loveliest, most humble and unassuming bloke you could meet, and he's been just like that on the other occasions I've met him. A living god in my book, and what a trooper. All those shows and all that touring and performing, long concerts at the age of 89 at the end of this month. He's just unstoppable. Johnny Cash, of course, was first there with his observations of a Willie Nelson concert. Backstage pass for the Willie Nelson show from Johnny Cash's album Boom Chicka Boom. And so to our classic kitchen session for today's programme. This one recorded at my flat in Crouch End on the 11th of April in 1990. I'd met them already many times on my trips to Cajun country in southwest Louisiana, and we were great pals by this stage. Joe Boyd, at the time of this recording, had just put out albums by D.L. Menard and Eddie Lejeune on his Hannibal label. D.L. played guitar on Eddie's LP, and Eddie played accordion on D.L.'s LP. Fiddler Ken Smith also played on both records, so an inseparable trio, really. In the spring of 1990, they were about to start their first UK tour, and I hosted a party for them in my kitchen. Your master of ceremonies is me.
The best group in the whole of Louisiana, on the very first British Hannibal recording artists, D.L. Menard, Eddie Lejeune and Ken Smith. I'm done.
Forget Ken's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, really.
Boy, he's improving, man. He's improving.
He's starting to listen to me and you, Dale.
Evidently. Evidently. Okay, now what you gonna do now? No doubt in my mind it's gonna be a tune, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, tonight I want to honor Daddy. Because if Daddy would be living, he'd be here.
Who bridge walls?
That bridge was.
Hey!
That's what I had in mind.
Oh, shut up, Andy. Good job, Eddie. Terrific, man.
Thank you, Dale. That must mean I'm learning.
Oh yeah?
I'm like you, kid. I'm learning.
You're improving.
I'm improving.
Yeah, you're improving.
Okay, let's do one for Andy now. The mistake I made.
Yeah!
He recognized that.
Watch it.
There's the one, huh?
Wonderful evening, fabulous music. D.L. Menard on guitar and vocals, Eddie Lejeune accordion and vocals, and Ken Smith on fiddle. Recorded by me on the Sony Walkman Professional on the 11th of April 1990 in my kitchen at 53 Elder Avenue, Crouch End. The songs and tunes there were Wildwood Flower, Jetty au Bal, I Went to the Dance, The Love Bridge Waltz, and The Mistake I Made. D.L. Menard, Doris Leon Menard, died, alas, in April 2017, aged 85. And poor old Eddie Lejeune died of a heart attack in January 2001, when he was only 50. Ken, as far as I know, much younger than his buddies, is still with us. Well, I bloody well hope so. And more from them a bit later in the programme. Now, Wildwood Flower, there's our Bertie barking in the background. Wildwood Flower, and we heard DL's Cajun interpretation of it there, is an American parlour song dating back to the 1860s. But I guess the best-known recorded version of it is this, recorded by those country music pioneers, the Carter family, for the Victor label in Camden, New Jersey, in 1928. Mother Maybelle Carter was an outstanding guitarist. Listen to her on this, playing the melody and the rhythm lines simultaneously. Carter Family's Wildwood Flower. You'll find it on most Carter Family compilations. This one happens to be called A Proper Introduction to the Carter Family. Keep on the sunny side, and it's on the proper label in the UK. Now, in the last programme, I played you a remarkable piece by Zimbabwean band Gunora Sounds, a track of theirs which was included on the free cover mount CD of last month's Songlines. Well, I've now managed to get hold of the whole album, only as audio files, alas, but it is superb. Hard Times Never Kill, it's called, on the Vital Records label. And Gonora Sounds is led by Daniel Gonora, a blind guitarist who used to play with Zimbabwe's Gyros Jiri Band in the 1980s and 90s. I saw the Gyros Jiri Band many times on my trips to Zimbabwe back then. All the members of the group had some disability or other, and they raised funds for the Gyros Jiri Foundation for the disabled. The reappearance of Daniel Gonora with this new outfit prompted me to dig out my old Gyros Jiri singles. But first, here's another track from this new Gonora Sounds album. This is Kuna Mambo.
Jehovah akati kuna Samere chachimasauro kusvika riniko zvandamurava kuti ave mambo iwewe dzadzakona momene mafuta ndikutume zvine Jehovah akati kuna Samere uchachimasauro kusvika riniko zvandamurava kuti ave mambo iwewe dzadzakona momene mafuta ndikutume
ama ndingasvike seiko kuna Sauro ndati ndingasvike sei kuna Sauro ama ndingasvike sei kuna Sauro akazvizwa akandiparadza ndati ndingasvike seiko kuna Sauro ini ndingasvike sei kuna Sauro ini ndingasvike seiko kuna Sauro akazvizwa akandiparadza
varume veguta vachiona Samere vakabvunda vakabvunza kuti auya nerugare here. Varume veguta vachiona Samere vakabvunda vakabvunza zvikoti auya nerugare here.
aiwa ndidanire vana vako iwewe Jese ndidanire vana vako iwe Jese ndidanire vana vako iwe Jese
vananofanira kukaswa kuva mambo
ndati ndidanire vana vako iwe Jese ama ndidanire vana vako iwe Jese ndati ndidanire vana vako iwe Jese
vananofanira kukaswa kuva mambo
vekutanga kauya
hana kukaswa
wechipiri ndokuuya
hana kukaswa
wechitatu ndokutevera
hana kukaswa vananofanira kukaswa kuva mambo
kona wekutanga kauya
hana kukaswa
wechipiri akauya
hana kukaswa
kona wechitatu ndokutevera
hana kukaswa vananofanira kukaswa kuva mambo
Davida atove mambo
vakave mambo
Davida akave mambo Davida
vakave mambo ndiye aifanira kugadzwa kuva mambo
Davida atove mambo
vakave mambo
Davida atove mambo Davida
vakave mambo ndiye aifanira kugadzwa kuva mambo
Davida wakave mambo
vakave mambo Davida
wakave mambo
Davida
wakave mambo
vakave mambo ndiye aifanira kugadzwa kuva mambo
ndati Davida wakave mambo
vakave mambo
Davida wakave
mambo
Davida
vakave mambo ndiye aifanira kugadzwa kuva mambo
kunze kwaitonhora shira raiva rimwe chete juzi raiva nyoro ndakashape kuwanda ndakanga ndajaira kwatinorara isu ndakanga ndajaira kwatinoita mutimwa mira svitima kunze kwaitonhora shira raiva rimwe chete juzi raiva nyoro ndakashaya chokufuka kana mbaramatonya hairwadzi zvakadai kana zvitukwani chaizvo hazvirovi zvichidai kana rohwa nemheni hapi achidai namo ndinoiziva iyakanga isiri namaiwa yaive nzvodo mbuna nyatwa ngwavaira teteguru venhamo zvokuchemera kuva outstanding izvi ndikati ndinonzi matavire ine different character with different characteristics. I will never put on a batch nokuti rinondibvisa umemba. Yeah. Ndakanga ndajaira watinorara isu ndakanga ndajaira watinoita mutimbwa akuizosani ngoma pani wova maposa ngapa mina maposa ngapuma kufirst page sivili. Ongela bhaji zindaba zakhe. Chokwadi kunzwa sendarohwa nezvousiku vakatita zvokunikidza pambaura.
The Gyros Jiri Band from Zimbabwe in a single of theirs I bought in Highfield Township just outside of Harare in 1988, and that was Chando Chinuraya. Daniel Ganora on the lead guitar, and before that Daniel Ganora with his new band Ganora Sounds, and we heard Kuna Mambo from their new album Hard Times Never Kill. My old friend and former Radio 3 producer Roger Short sent me an email recently to ask if I'd heard this Ganora Sounds CD. Get a copy, he said. It's life affirming. Thanks for all your recent kind messages and emails, and for your sympathies about my lack of paid work these days. I was frankly moved to tears by some of your messages, and that support you show me gives me the strength to battle on and keep doing these programmes. A lot of you made me feel wanted still, and that means such a lot. Thanks too for your donations to keep me and this podcast and Bertie going. You're very generous. Well, in the end, I didn't get that job I was telling you about of the delivery driver for the local ice cream company. I was told about the vacancy on a Friday about 3 weeks ago by a nice man in Todmorden Job Centre. So I phoned the firm straight away and spoke to the operations manager who was doing the hiring, and he said to me, "Can you come and see me next Tuesday?" I said, "Yes, what time would be convenient for you?" He said, "About 11:30 in the morning." I said, "Yes, I can do that." He said, "Oh, would you ring me on the Monday the day before to remind me you're coming?" And I thought, that's odd. Why don't you just get a diary? So anyway, the following Monday, I rang him to say, I'm ringing, as you asked, to remind you that I'm coming tomorrow at 11:30 to see you about that delivery driver's job. He says, "Oh, I've already given it to someone else." Great. I'm not proud or lazy, you know. I'd stack shelves in one of the local supermarkets to get by, but I can't leave Bertie locked up in the house for 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's why I thought a delivery driver job would be ideal. Then he could come with me and sit on the passenger seat all day long and occasionally have a walk. But there you go. I thought the operations manager sounded like a tosser anyway. But that's certainly not true of this ice cream man.
everybody. We're the Water Lovers. We're going to sing about the ice cream man for you. Well, now, ice cream man, upon my street. I heard your truck outside is really neat. Ice cream man, upon my block. Your little chimes, they reel and they rock. Ice cream man, ring your bell. Play the music I've learned to love so well. Ice cream man, ring your chimes in the afternoon so fine. Ice cream man, upon my street. I heard your truck today, and eating ice cream man upon my block now. Your chimes, they reel and rock. Now ice cream man upon my street. Your little truck noise, need an ice cream man upon my block. I heard your chimes, I know they reel and they run. Ice cream man, on my street. Your little truck, you know, it's an eating ice cream man upon my block. Your chimes, they reel and rock. Ice cream man upon my street. You heard your truck today. Ice cream man, ring your chime in the afternoon so fine. One more time. Ice cream man, ring your bell. Play the music I've learned to love. Ice cream man, ring your chime in the afternoon so fine.
We'll leave you with this musical thought. Thank you for listening. Little boy running and a little girl got the money tucked up in the hand. Over the wall and down into the street. Get the money to the holler of mine. Give your money to the holler of mine. Everybody runs my honky tonk. Hear the ringing of the ice
3 on the subject of ice cream to mark my continued unemployment. New Orleans clarinetist George Lewis and his band were first with Ice Cream, recorded in 1953. Interesting how the singer on that, Joe Watkins, kept singing the refrain, rock, 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 rock my baby rock. Who said rock and roll began in 1956? In the middle, it was Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, of course, Ice Cream Man from their 1977 LP, Rock and Roll with the Modern Lovers. And we just heard Richard Thompson with a live version of Hokey Pokey, the Ice Cream song, from a fan club only double CD, 2 letter words, live 1994. And playing with Richard on that were Dave Mattox, Danny Thompson and Pete Zorn. OK, Songlines magazine, our media partner, is still offering a 20% discount on new subscriptions taken out by listeners to these programmes. Songlines, as you probably know, is the only magazine in the UK which covers the bulk of the styles that I play for you. And every month, each issue comes with a free cover mount compilation CD drawn from the best new releases. For more information, go to songlines.co.uk, and to claim your 20% discount on a subscription, quote Kershaw in capital letters when prompted to do so. And thanks very much for your support, Songlines. And here's a track from the latest cover mount CD with the May issue of the magazine, a bit of Turkish psychedelia from the Satellites.
Aklıma gelmeyenler başıma geldi. Aklıma waits in his stable door, and he's combing his coal black steed. He's doubting on fair Margaret's love, and his heart begins to bleed. Fetch corn unto me horse, mother, and me to my man John, and all the way to fair Margaret's bower before the night comes on. Stay at home with me, dear Willie, oh stay at home with me, and the very best cock in all the roost your own supper will be. Of all your cocks and all your roosts, I value not to bin, and all the way to fair Margaret's bower before the night comes in. Well, if you go to fair Margaret's bower without the leave of me, in the deepest part of the Clyde water, then drowned you will be. Oh, the good steed that I ride upon cost me thrice £30, and I'll put trust in his swift feet to take me safe and sound. He's ridden o'er yon high, high hill and down yon dowie den, and the rushing in the Clyde water would have feared 500 men. Oh, roaring Clyde, you roar so loud, your streams are wondrous strong. Make me a wreck as I come back, but spare me as I'm gone. Rise up and let me in. Oh, who is this at me bower door calling May Margaret's name? Oh, it's only a first love, little Willie, and this night come to her home. Open the gates this night, oh, open and let me in. My boots they're full of the Clyde water, and I'm frozen to the skin. My barns are full of corn, Willie, and my stable's full of hay, and my bows are full of gentlemen, they won't remove till day. Fare thee well to you, May Margaret, fare thee well, and adieu, for I have won my mother's own curse by coming this night to you. He's ridden away on high, high hill and down yon dowie den, and the rushing and the Clyde water took Willie's heart from him. He's leaned him over a saddle bow to catch his heart again, and the rushing in the Clyde water took Willie's cane from him. He's leaned him over his saddle bow to catch his cane by force. The rushing in the Clyde water took Willie from his horse. The very hour this young man sank into the pot so deep, and awoke Miss May Margaret out from her dreary sleep. Come here, my mother dear, read to me my dream. I dreamed my love was at our gate, and no one let him in. Lie there, my May Margaret, lie there and take your rest. For since your love was at our gate, it's but 2 quarters past. Nimbly, nimbly rose she up to the water's brim, and the louder that this young girl cried, the louder grew the wind. The very first step that she went in, she's up onto her feet, and it's oh, and alas, this young girl cried, you waters wondrous deep. Oh, the very next step that she went in, she's up onto her knees, cried she, I would go farther in, if I my true love could see. Next step that she went in, she's up onto her chin, in the deepest part of the Clyde water she found sweet William in, saying, you've had a cruel mother, Willie, and I have had another, and now we'll sleep in the Clyde water like sister and like brother. Saying, you've had a cruel mother, Willie, and I have had another, and now we'll sleep in the Clyde water like sister and like brother.
Kate Rusby with The Drowned Lovers from Kate's debut solo album, Hourglass, released in 1997. Crikey, is it really 25 years ago? I remember hearing that album for the first time. We were on the Isle of Man for the TT races in June, and I'd taken some new releases over with me to listen to. And one morning from our rented cottage, I was dispatched to the nearest shop, which was some miles away, to get breakfast stuff. And I started to play this new CD by Kate Rusby, Hourglass, on my way to the shop, and it literally stopped me in my tracks. When I got to the village store in a place called Glen May, I just sat in the car outside and listened to the whole album until it finished, very late for breakfast. This one's from my old friend Michael Fryer in San Diego, California. Michael specifically asked for this. Always delightful to get a message from you, Michael. I hope you, Vanessa, and the family are thriving, and thanks for your generous donation, old chap. Jim and Bob, the genial Hawaiians, with Coffee in the Morning, Kisses in the Night.
I've got a mission, it's just a simple thing. I've only one ambition, to have the right to bring you your coffee in the morning and kisses in the night. It makes no difference where we decide to live, as long as I'm the one who's always gonna give you your coffee in the morning and kisses in the night. The job of loving you is legal according to the NRA. So let us have a big blue eagle to keep the big bad wolf away. There are a few things you may dislike in me, but you can count on two things that I will guarantee, dear. Your coffee in the morning and kisses in the night.
They were actually native Hawaiians, and unlike a lot of musicians who played Hawaiian music during the craze for it in the States in the 1920s and 30s, Jim and Bob, the genial Hawaiians, as they were always billed, with Coffee in the Morning, Kisses in the Night, recorded at their one and only recording session, which was in Chicago in December 1933. They cut 12 songs that day and never recorded again. Great shame. As I was saying earlier, thanks to all of you for your kind donations, no matter how modest, to support this podcast. It all helps, and to those of you who've recently become patrons in order to make regular contributions, I really value your support, and so does Bertie, don't you, Bertie? Wolf, yes. Thank you very much. New patrons, Kenneth Lambden, Pete and Jane Nunn, Tim Pursglove, Rich Rappel, John Erskine, Leslie F., John Woodhead, John Gaynor, Brian McGeaney, hi Brian, old pal of mine in Ireland, Sarah Theo in New Zealand, Chris Dancer, G. Richards, S. Fox, Jeff Turner, Simon Garland and John Bell. Thanks very much to all of you. I've been told, recently by a BBC producer, and this is relevant to my current position, and he was only reporting this, it wasn't his own view. In fact, he was embarrassed to tell me that I'm unlikely to get any more radio or television work again because BBC management doesn't want people like me, as I'm middle-aged and male. Well, let them think like that. This is Radio Kershaw.
Rose Bay, Willowhead, fringes and glass. Grand Ole Opry, this isn't a lass. But in a nudie suit 6 feet below lies a man who the world doesn't know. Monumental masons, even you wouldn't know where to start. For beneath this broken headstone there lies a broken heart. He never rested a Gretsch on his thigh, seeing Nashville was pie in the sky. But in a pub in the west end of Rill, he was Hank, he was Roy, he was Bill. So let's gather up our paraphernalia and think on before we depart, that beneath this broken headstone there lies a broken heart. Oh, if that was me instead, Joan, a mouldering in my dead zone, would you fix this broken headstone and cure my broken heart?
James was a great surly workman, and my buddy. We had worked together in the pits, boy and man, for 50-odd years, done all the jobs, oiled the lamps, pushed the wheelbarrows, carried the coal. The pit we worked in had such narrow seams, anything between 9 and 18 inches, that the coal had to be carried by hand. The brubbies, special low trams for carrying coal along narrow seams, needed a minimum of 2.5 feet. James and me had many a time worked our way back from a 9-inch coal face, with a piece of coal firmly held in each hand, a distance of 7 miles, to the main vertical shaft. This meant that it would take an entire shift of 12 hours to get to the coal face, pick a couple of bits of coal off the face, and get back again. Our bodies and clothes used to get dirty working under the ground. As we stood in the pub on our way home with a quart in our hands, we used to discuss our future. "It's not economic to run the mine," was the usual comment. All of us miners worked in the same pit, slithering about the narrow shafts. Not a man of us under 65. No new blood. The last woman had left the valley 50 years ago, taking her children, but we clung doggedly on. You know, there's a challenge in a narrow seam, but not one of us would admit it, even in our cups. Reporters used to travel to the valley to try to get the miners to say something while they were in their cups, but as often as not they got a broken jaw for their pains. We'd not been paid any wages for years, but gone around the valley selling the coal we won to one another. Coal was our currency. You wanted a quart, you slammed a lump of coal on the counter. There was no beer, only water. Mining's thirsty work, and a quart of water straight out a rain butt is very welcome. "James," I said one day, "I'm hungry." "Get yourself a piece of grass," he replied, "or a lump of chickweed. They're both outside in plenty." "No, James, grass doesn't seem to satisfy me any more. I've a yearning for something tasty." He turned his face up at me. The whites of his eyes were like yesterday's milk. "I don't understand you, Ivor," he said hopelessly. "There's grass, and there's chickweed, and there's rain in the barrel. What more could the heart of man desire? Here we are, nobody bothering us, living a full life, and you say grass doesn't satisfy you anymore? It's time you left the valley. You're old. You can't take it anymore. Leave the valley. I can't leave the valley. I'm an old man, James. You're the only friend I have. But James took me by the shoulder and pushed me out of the pub and out of the moonlit valley, then turned his back on me and walked back to the pub. I daren't go into the valley. I just hang about the entrance, hoping to catch James's eye. When I see him, and it's always night time, I lie down on the ground and slither about as if I was down the pit, to remind him how we were buddies. I'm getting hungry. I wouldn't mind a piece of grass, or even a lump of chickweed.
South Africa's Ihashi Elimlope with a piece called Kulokuni from the Earthworks Township Jive compilation, a taste of the indestructible beat of Soweto. Ivor Cutler in the middle, of course, with the tale of the surly buddy, and that's from Ivor's 1976 LP, Jammy Smears, for Virgin Records. Half Man, Half Biscuit were first in that sequence. Beneath this broken headstone, there lies a broken heart, and The Volta All Years is the new masterpiece from the Biscuits. Earlier, I promised you another from the mighty Reverend Reuben Willingham, and this LP I've just found of his, the best of Reverend Willingham, released by the gospel label Nashborough in 1974. This track, Sweep Around Your Own Door.
Oh, trouble, trouble, trouble. Everybody's trouble is yours. Can't see your own fault. You don't know your own fault. Clean up, brush up, sweep around your own door. Neighbor won't be trouble with you. Right soon in the morning, before you get up, see that old liar take a big dip of snuff. She'll lie on Saturday and lie on Jane. If you sing this thing about it, don't you mention my name. Trouble, good God Almighty. Do you believe that everybody's trouble is yours? Can't see your own fault. You don't know your own fault. Clean up, brush up, sweep around your own door. Neighbor won't be trouble with you. Right soon in the morning, before you get out, see that old liar coming to your house. First thing she'll say, I ain't got long to stay. That liar take a seat and they will stay all day. Trouble, good God Almighty. Trouble, do you believe everybody's trouble is yours? Can't see your own fault. You don't know your own fault. Clean up, brush up, sweep around your own door. Neighbor won't be trouble with you. Well, soon in the morning, before you get out, yonder come a deacon coming to your house. Before you sit down, begin to think. Come on, Deacon John, and let us have a little drink. Good God Almighty, do you believe everybody's trouble is yours? Can't be your own fault. You don't know your own fault. Clean up, brush up, sweep around your own door. Neighbor won't be trouble with you. Hey! I'm talking about a troublesome neighborhood. Some say they got good religion and been born again. Talking about some hip at the mole of my head and ran down to the sole of my feet. And I'm afraid that's where it went out, at the sole of some of our feet. Good God Almighty. Go ahead, church. My Lord.
Swinging through the trees in his BB, Peter wasn't off the side and see. He had a scotch eyeball and a parasol. Peter was as high as he can be. Peter mama might have been a chimpanzee, but his pappy was a monkey. Cheetah mama might have been a chimpanzee, but his pappy was a monkey. If you take a look in your history book, you see I'm right in black and white. A chimpanzee don't wear no BBD. Cheetah must have been a nut, swinging through the street in his BBD. Cheetah wasn't off the side to see. He had a starch eyeball and a parasol. Cheetah was as high as he can be. All right. If you take a look in your history book, you see I'm right in black and white. A chimpanzee don't wear no BBDs. Cheetah must have been a nut, swinging through the street in his BBD. Cheetah wasn't off the side to see. He had a starch eyeball history book. You see, I'm right in black and white. A chimpanzee don't wear no BBB. Eat 'em but they've been the night. Swinging through the street in his BBB. He wasn't off the side to see. He had a starch eyeball and a barrel of salt. It was as high as he can be.
Yeah. The monkey speaks his mind. Now, 3 monkeys sat in a coconut tree discussing things as they are said to be. Said one to the other. Now listen, you two. There's a certain rumor that can't be true. That man descended from our noble race. The very idea is a big disgrace. No monkey ever deserted his wife, starved her baby, and ruined her life. Yeah. The monkey speaks his mind. And you never known a mother monk to leave the babies with others to bone, or pass them on from one to another till they scarcely knew who was their mother. Yeah. The monkey speaks his mind. And another thing you will never see, a monkey build a fence around a coconut tree and let other coconuts go to waste, forbidding all other monkeys to come and taste. Why, if I put a fence around this tree, starvation would force you to steal from me. Yeah. The monkey speaks his mind. Here's another thing a monkey won't do. Go out at night and get on a stew. Or use a gun or club or knife to take another monkey's life. Yes, man descended the weightless bum, but brothers, from us he did not come. Yeah, the monkey speaks his mind.
There's a heavy yet unintentional bias I've noticed towards Louisiana music in today's programme, and nothing wrong with that. Dave Bartholomew we just heard with The Monkey Speaks His Mind. He was a New Orleans trumpeter, bandleader and record producer, worked on many of Fats Domino's hits, and he died only a couple of years ago. He was 100 years old when he died, and he was still active until not long before his death. Amazing man. And like Daniel Ganora, who we heard earlier, another truly gifted blind guitarist was in the middle. Also from New Orleans, Snoop Sieglin with a piece called The Cheetah from an album he made in 1989 for the Blacktop label in the Crescent City. Out of Nowhere was the name of that. OK, back to my kitchen in Crouch End on April the 11th, 1990, and our 3 outstanding Cajun musicians from southwest Louisiana, the tiny towns of Erath and Eunice, to be precise, D.L. Menard, Eddie Lejeune and Ken Smith, and the first tune in this sequence is the Eunice two-step.
Hey.
Eunice.
Eunice.
Tigalo pour ma move.
Tigalo pour ma move. I think I still remember it.
Tigalo, pumamo, chegou de mirei pro canto, aquele corino com leite, de de café com leite. Tigalo, pumamo, chegou de motivo pro canto, aquele corino com leite, e yari de papo lá. Tigalo, pumamo, chegou de motivo pro canto, aquele corino com leite, de café com leite. Tigalo, pumamo, chegou de motivo pro canto, aquele corino com leite, e yari de papo lá.
vase de grand-père. C'est proche la vase de grand-mèche.
Well,
You want to do la vase de grand-mèche?
you can be the wood or you can be the marsh. It don't matter. You can be the wood.
That's right. Let's do it. La vase de grand-mèche.
Yeah, first
All right.
Hey!
Hey! That's what I can do, that, folks. Alanda la paillette, Polka de Dana, Amanda Premada, Madame Gana Combo, Vicente Gomilla, Tocata Fegide, Oxamo Femilla, Tawane Petite. Demande pas de mal et toi, tu danses tout folie. On va quitter tout ça, parce que tu terminé. Alors t'as la paillette, et pourtant t'es t'en as. Avant d'appeler maintenant, madame t'en as comme moi. Le giant, I was making him, yeah! But I told him. La chante encore le cul d'apprend. Allant à la paillette, et pourtant détonnant. Comment d'appeler madame, madame Canaille Tombeau. Si t'étais trop mignon, je peux pas t'abriminer. Observe tes millions, je vais voir mes certitudes. Ah, shut bébé.
Cajuns in Kershaw's Kitchen, April 1990, D.L. Menard, Eddie Lejeune and Ken Smith, and the tunes there, in the order we heard them, the Unis Two-Step, Tigalopo Mamu, Laval's de Grand Mare, Alonza Lafayette and the Kaplan Waltz. I don't know yet who we'll be having in the kitchen to play for us on the next programme, but I do know this. Our old pal Loudon Wainwright is coming over in September for a UK and Irish tour. And on Thursday the 8th of September, he's got a gig just 3 miles down the road from me at the Hebden Bridge Trades Club. So I'm going to send him an email to ask if he'll have the time the morning after the show to come and play a few songs for us at the kitchen table.
There'll be lots of drinking in heaven, smoking and eating and sex. What you didn't do in this life bad for you will be totally cool in the next. In heaven there'll be beer for breakfast, at lunch it's tequila and wine, and the soup served with dinner is made with paint thinner, and the morning hereafter feels fine. Oh, good behavior will get you to heaven. It's Beulah land, that's where you're bound. But nobody makes nice up there in paradise. When you get up there, then you get down. And the angels have ashtrays in heaven. St. Peter puffs on a cigar. That's right, smoking's allowed. It's what makes all those clouds. And you don't have to sit at the bar. It's gonna be great. Davy Mansfield. And they eat all day long up in heaven, and nobody ever gets fat. No, not 1 calorie, and the ice cream is free. It comes in a pint, quarter of that, and it's just one big orgy in heaven, and nobody ever says no. And it's front, sideways, back, and you start to lose track, but you don't lose your get up and go. There'll be lots of drinking in heaven, smoking and eating and sex. What you didn't do in this life bad for you will be totally cool in the next. In heaven there'll be beer for breakfast, at lunch it's sambuca and wine. The gazpacho with dinner is made with paint thinner, and the morning hereafter feels fine.
I started as an older boy, working at the church, learning all my holy moves, doing some research, which led me to a cash box labeled Children's Fund. I'd leave the change and tuck the bills inside my cummerbund. I've got a part-time job at my father's carpet store, laying tackless stripping and housewives by the score. I loaded up their furniture and took it to Spokane and auctioned off every last Naugahyde divan. I'm very well acquainted with the 7 deadly sins. I keep a busy schedule trying to fit them in. I'm proud to be a glutton and I don't have time for sloth. I'm greedy and I'm angry and I don't care who I cross. I'm Mr. Bad Example, intruder in the dirt. I like to have a good time and I don't care who gets hurt. I'm Mr. Bad Example, take a look at me. I live to be 100 and go down in infamy. Of course I went to law school and took a law degree and counseled all my clients to plead insanity. Then worked in hair replacement, swindling the bald, where very few are chosen and fewer still are called. Then on the Monte Carlo to play chemin de fer, I threw away the fortune I made transplanting hair. I put my last few francs down on a prostitute who took me up to her room to perform the salute. Whereupon I stole her passport and her wig and headed for the airport and a midnight flight you did. And 14 hours later I was down in Adelaide, looking through the Wandad, sipping Foster's in the shade. I opened up an agency somewhere down the line to hire aboriginals to work the opal mines. But I attached their wages and took a whopping cut and whisked away their workman's comp and pauperized the lot. And Mr. Bad Example, intruder in the dirt. I like to have a good time and I don't care who gets hurt. I'm Mr. Bad Example, take a look at me. I'll live to be 100 and go down in infamy. I bought a first-class ticket on Malaysian Air and landed in Sri Lanka, none the worse for wear. I'm thinking every tiring from all my dirty deals. I'll see you in the next life, wake me up for meals.
The genius that was Warren Zevon. How proud I was to have him play live in the studio on my very last programme for Radio 1 back in 2000. And he was a lovely bloke as well. I was so upset when he died. Before he got ill, he and I were actually planning a trip to Haiti together. Great shame. That was Mr. Bad Example, the title track of his 1991 album for the Giant label. Loudon before Warren, Heaven, from one of his live albums called So Damn Happy. And that's about your lot for today. Thanks to producer Peter Everett and to my friends Marvin Ware and John Bursko for the help with putting this together. As ever, thanks to Paul Gagan and Simon Broughton of Songlines magazine. But most of all, thank you for listening and thanks for your continued support. I couldn't do it without you. It means a lot, it really does. See you next time.